Taxi and livery operators spoke openly about their concerns with Minister for Communication and Works Honorable Mark Vanterpool during a meeting organized by the minister to understand the concerns facing the industry. The operators raised issues such as unfair competition, unregulated fares, and the need for new uniforms. Taxi drivers also heard that the Department of Motor Vehicles is paying attention to illegal activities within the transportation industry. Walter Barrett has this report.
Several taxi and livery operators converged at the Noel Lloyd Positive Action Movement Park for the open forum, during which time they spoke about what they thought were some of the most pressing issues facing the industry. During the opening, Minister for Communication and Works Honorable Mark Vanterpool said that the operators are an integral part of the tourism industry, as they are the first and last modes of transportation the visitors see while in the territory. Honorable Vanterpool said that whether these visitors return to the BVI or not depends largely on the treatment they receive from the taxi and livery operators.
We want to make sure that the economy of the Virgin Islands continues to grow. There are areas in the economy that you as taxi drivers, men and women, help us with. Tourism is one of our number 2 top industries. We're trying to develop others, agriculture, fishing, and so on. But along the lines of tourism, you play a very important role because you are the first line of defense and the last line as visitors come and go. So you are the ones who meet them at some point, and we want to ensure that you treat them well, hoping that they will come back based on your good treatment.
The floor was opened shortly afterward, and it was then time for the concerns to be heard, as the minister listened to cries from taxi and livery operators about issues such as unfair pricing, supermarket chains using livery plates and competing with taxis, taxi drivers' inability to use more than one plate, and concerns about the current taxi driver's uniform.
Automatically, you give someone who applied for a shuttle plate 6 plates. But a taxi man, right now, I have a taxi man who just had 2 plates. But because they didn't have a vehicle to put that plate on at the time, the traffic and the government actually condemned that plate. So the man now stuck with 1 vehicle. And not only that too, if that 1 vehicle breaks down, the government before, which I have to bring it from then to now, was trying to pass a law because it started with 1 person already, that no one else can drive that person, the other vehicle. So which means you're trying to kill the same taxi man who's supposed to be the man who could do anything within the industry.
I wanted to add to what Brother Henry was saying about the players outside of the industry having livery plates. Yeah, the government needs to definitely look into supermarket chains having livery plates, as basically they're doing the same service as a taxi. And it's not good, and it's not a good practice, it's not good commerce. We're supposed to work hand in hand, and I don't think it's fair that supermarket chains will have levy service picking up people at marinas and dropping off, and at this time, let's face it, still collecting fares and whatnot. That needs to be looked into, them having these shuttle plates.
This uniform they give us to wear the cruise ship, Doc, I mean, we can do better than that. Trust me, we can do better than that. I think the intention was good. I really believe that the intention was good. But just like how we tried to come up with a national folk song, can we come up with a national folk uniform that represents the integrity of the Virgin? Now, this thing here, look at it. Look at it. It's dead on arrival.
There were also concerns raised about safety as it relates to the tourists and proper signage, and the number of unlicensed operators working routes throughout the island as well. At the end of the discussions, Marvin Blyden, chairman of the newly formed Taxi and Livery Commission, assured that the commission was working behind the scenes and will continue to work toward eradicating many of the drivers' concerns in an attempt to make the industry more viable for both the tourists who visit our shores as well as the drivers, many of whom make their living through their service. However, Blyden called upon the drivers to cooperate with the commission and the ministry as they endeavor to get the job done. Minister Vanterpool also threw his commitment behind the drivers, assuring them that he will begin to look into the issue of one plate per driver, as well as the issue of loose dirt in various areas of the territory that makes the drivers' jobs hazardous. The minister commended them for the job they do on a daily basis and pledged to continue hearing their concerns as they arise. This is Walter Barrett reporting for JTV News.